Hello friends, welcome to the channel. Bob here, and welcome to this is going to be like another channel. What did I call them? Channel Burp video. Is this Channel Burp 3? I can't remember. But just a video kind of like discussing some channel stuff, kind of prompted recently by some messages or some comments, I should say, and like one message. Yeah, so let's get on with it. So this is also primarily aimed at you guys who kind of are members, because some of you, no doubt, originally came here for EverQuest P99 stuff, and there hasn't been much of that lately. So I'll kind of talk a little bit about that as well. And you might think, oh well, you might want to stop being a member. Don't know. I'm not saying that there's not ever going to be any more P99 stuff, but this is a video that I've been thinking about making for a number of years now, and it's kind of it's about YouTube and like my relationship with YouTube and your relationship with YouTube and our relationships through the channel and all that kind of stuff. Some kind of good, some you might interpret as bad. I don't know, but we'll see how we go. But yeah, I mean, I think first of all, for more than once over the last few years, I've thought about just completely stopping the channel, like without any warning or whatever, just shutting it all down, closing everything, and cutting all contact, and that's it. And that's not because I've had like bad times. That's not because the channel's causing me any issues or I've had bad times from it. But I think it kind of gets to the point where you kind of feel that you've run your course. This kind of does lead into my kind of main point that I'll talk about. But you do get to the point where you kind of feel that things have run their course. The channel was very much tied up with EverQuest P99. Other videos that I do on other games don't get the same amount of views, which is not the primary reason why I do it. Otherwise, I would just keep doing P99 videos. Yeah, and I do know that there is a hardcore bunch of you out there that watch whatever video I put out. You just like sitting there with them on in the background. That's the most common. That's the most common comment that I get. But then you kind of get into this thing where it's like, I'm going to shut my channel down and that's it, and then it all gets a bit narcissistic. I kind of think about it as though it's some big drama. It's going to be some big thing, and I think, well, that's a very narcissistic way of looking at it. Who cares? I'm some old bloke sits here and just presses record like now with literally nothing going on the screen other than looking at some fantastic EverQuest visuals and models. Who cares? But I haven't done that, and we're still here. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe there are more stories to tell and stuff as we go ahead. But it's primarily time to that thing comes up occasionally because it's primarily tied to the fact that the channel is very P99 centric, and I'm not doing much of that stuff at the moment. I kind of come up with these things about creating new channels. I've spoken to quite a lot of people about YouTube over the years, and some of them say that they noticed that their channel became based around one thing, and it kind of got stuck in this rut where they moved on to other stuff, but the channel just didn't do anything, and they weren't getting any new viewers. So for the new thing that they were doing, they created a new channel focused completely around that, and that's for whatever seemed to work. I know that the underlying mechanics of the way YouTube works is pretty dire, with regards to who gets seen and who doesn't get seen. But yeah, that's also something that I kind of considered. But yeah, I didn't really. All of that kind of takes a lot of energy, and a lot of just thinking. And I'm one. I have to confess, I don't have a huge amount of drive. I'm one of those people who. I'm one of those people who at school where the teacher would say, this bloke could be a brain surgeon, but you don't give a toss. He's got no drive to do anything, which is a shame. That's often what my school report said. So here we are. I'm not a brain surgeon or a rocket physicist or whatever. I'm an old bloke sitting here doing EverQuest videos or doing YouTube videos. So yeah, that's something that's come up quite a bit over the last few years. I think it also comes up sometimes when, well, I think things like my health is worse, so you're just feeling a bit low anyway, you know, and you think, oh well, bugger this, I can't be bothered. Yeah, but moving on to the main topic, and it's about, I guess it's about, this is something I've spoken to a lot of people about as well, and I guess it's about relationships generally through YouTube and the the content creator and the people that watch the videos and all that kind of thing. And it's very different. It's very different on YouTube than it is on Twitch. But I think primarily from the point of view of the input of the viewer. I would say. Now, some people, you know, what the next topic of conversation, some people might take the wrong way and get offended and like, all that kind of stuff. You know, that's down to you. But people who have been listening to my channel for a while will hopefully know the spirit that it's kind of intended. And I like, over the course of, since I started the channel, really, you get comments on your videos, you know, love your videos, all that kind of stuff, blah blah blah. And it was funny. It was like this was about halfway through my YouTube life. Must have been about, was it 4 or 5 years ago? I can't remember how long I've been doing YouTube, honestly. Yeah, but however long, 4 or 5 years. And I kind of noticed that I started watching other people's channels more, because I kind of got into P99. I think it was from watching Level 1 Undercon, who was then Sir Mutton Chops. Yeah, and then I started playing it, and you're kind of doing content on stuff. So I was only watching content, shaman content, and there wasn't much. So I wasn't watching a huge amount, but I watched more about halfway through my life on P99. And what I noticed was that you would get, like, someone who would leave a comment on my channel I was watching other channels, and like these people were, you know, these like viewers would leave exactly the same comment on all of the EverQuest P99 channels, which is a nice thing. You know, you enjoy it, you say you enjoy it. The comments were kind of cut and paste. It was exactly the same wording. And and at the time I kind of thought to myself, well, I think the reality of YouTube is that your content, you know, you're basically content, and your content of stuff that they particularly want to watch. You know, and like over the years, I've got to know a few of you a bit better than that. Yeah, we've spoken in game, and like we've had a little message out of game and all that kind of stuff, and we've done some grouping and whatever and that kind of thing. Yeah, that's all been really nice. But yeah, but I think the reality for probably 99% of people who watch content is that you are just content, and people just want content on what they want to watch. Yeah, and that comes out in two ways, really. Kind of like a nice way, and then obviously a shit way. The nice way is like it's happened recently, and it's kind of what's partly what prompted this video, but also one PM that I got. No, what prompted this was a message a long time ago. But yeah, but what happens is, like in phases, like every few months or so, I get like a wave of a few messages from like on videos from people saying, oh, you know, miss your P99 stuff, like your EverQuest stuff, blah blah blah, that kind of thing, which is all like really, really nice and lovely. I remember one particular comment that got me thinking. This is about, I guess again, about, how long ago was it? It was pre-pandemic, so it would have been like maybe 3 years ago. It was a bit before then, a bit before when the whole pandemic thing started. So yeah, about 3 years ago, someone left a comment, and also sent me, I'm assuming it was the same person who sent the message, but it was a different name, and it's kind of like an anonymous account, you know, so who knows. But it went along the lines of, oh, stop playing this shit and go back to P99. And it was like, and this was after you kind of get out of your mind that you're something special, you know, and people are just interested in the content. They want to see P99. They might like listening to you, but that's the primary goal. Not everyone, but that's the majority. And this came after that. And I kind of thought to myself, that's quite annoying. That's quite pissed me off. And like, believe it or not, I'd kind of been having this like this thing where there's not much P99 stuff going on at the moment on the channel. This has been kind of coming for quite a few years now, kind of way back, really, to those kind of periods. Yeah, and it quite annoyed me because you can tell that you've reached a point where maybe you're not doing stuff because you're enjoying it anymore, because your attitude changes, and your attitude changes to the viewer. So after I thought about it, my reaction to it was, well, what have you done? You know, like what have you done to what have you done to make me want to play P99? What have you done to help me to get something that I wanted, or has given me some cash, some plat, or whatever? Like, what have you done? So, and that's obviously not the right attitude. But the comments over the years like that have made me feel like that to a certain extent. You know, and I'm not talking about people who say, like, I enjoy your videos, but all that kind of stuff. That's really lovely and that's great. But there's another side of it where they are like from a comment point of view, they are more of a, I would say, minority. The people, I'm not sure they're a minority because, as I said, I think that most people just want content, but most people are not arseholes about it. So the majority of people just want to see P99 content, but there's a minority that will tell you, you know, and that kind of thing. And it's happened quite a bit over the last kind of 8-9 years, however long I've been doing it for. And I had something similar recently, not quite as bad, but this was kind of along that kind of ballpark. You should be playing P99 because that's kind of what I want to watch, kind of attitude. And like, it came up again, like I was kind of thinking to myself again, like what? Okay, fair enough, but like, what have you contributed? Like, what are you doing? Like, this is free, right? You're not paying anything. And I kind of get this, maybe I'm just stereotyping, but I kind of get this impression in my head that these people are also people that got ad block. So I'm literally getting nothing from them watching my free content that I'm putting time in for. And that particular comment from way back was the whole thing was exacerbated for me when I started watching Twitch a lot more, and I was watching. There's a couple of people who I enjoyed watching. This was like pre-pandemic again. A little while after this comment, there's a couple of people I enjoyed watching on Twitch, and it was a completely different environment. You know, there was one particular person I watched, and they didn't have many viewers. Like P99 Twitch streamers don't get even dozens of viewers, let alone hundreds generally, depending on who they are. And so they had a couple of dozen viewers, but like every day they played when I was playing a different game. I can't remember what I was playing at the time. It wasn't P99 that much, but there was always people who were kind of. There always seemed to have 2 or 3 people who would be on the stream, and they would turn up in the game, and they would say, "Look, what do you need? Like, what can I do for you? You trying to get anything? Can I take you anywhere? Do you need anything? You know, oh, do you want to do this quest? Yep, okay, let's do that. Come on, I'll come and give you a hand. You want to camp this item? Yep, okay, let's do that. I'll go and I'll come with you, help you do that, all that kind of stuff." And I'm not, and I guess part of that is probably because it's kind of like live. So I'm not saying that those people weren't genuinely helpful, but it's live, so that person kind of gets some immediate gratification on the fact that they're live helping someone. You know, there's kind of that kind of thing. YouTube is kind of very much, it's more of a distance thing, isn't it? So you put the video up and then people watch it, but the people watching it have got no actual like real time input, like live. You're kind of watching it after the event. But those kind of things, also exacerbated by that comment, also got me thinking of a more larger scale. You know, like what am I doing this for? What am I getting out of it? No one's helping me. You know, and like, you know, a few people in game in the past have given me some stuff. One person in particular was very generous. That's how I got my fungi tunic. And like, I've grouped with people, and people have ported me here and there and all that kind of thing. And I was kind of grateful for that and whatnot. But yeah, there was a certain attitude that from certain people watching the videos where I kind of got to that point where I thought to myself, like, what am I getting out of it? Who's helping me here? You know, you want to see content, but who's helping me? You know, I must have gone on for years about wanting a Shaman Epic. Who's helping me do that? And these thoughts are not particularly fair. You know, I don't think that I should be treated specially or that I'm entitled to anything. But there is an element of people out there, and that's about entitlement, isn't it? There is an element of people, of viewers out there who have an entitlement. They think that they think they're entitled to you to make free content for them. So that's kind of why and that was probably more than anything. You know, like I love EverQuest and I love P99. Like it's probably one of my second stint playing EverQuest. It's probably one of my kind of most favourite periods of gaming, like this P99 stuff. But I think part of the reason why I've moved away from it, there were two reasons. Like one I've spoken about before, where I kind of felt that EverQuest, YouTube took over my EverQuest experience, so I kind of got a bit obsessed with creating content for EverQuest on P99. So it got to the point where I wasn't playing the game. I wasn't playing the game because I enjoyed it. I got to the point where I was kind of playing the game. Well, I wasn't enjoying the game. That's not true. I wasn't enjoying the game because I felt that I should be creating content for it. That was one of the things. But the other thing was this bitterness that built up over a period of time, where I'd get messages and comments on videos of people who were entitled, and that in turn kind of switched this little entitlement to switch inside me. Like, well, why are you not helping me do stuff? You know, why are you not helping me progress to a point where I can create new content rather than just creating the same content over and over again? Yeah, and whether that's fair or not, I don't know. You know, I'm generally pretty chill. I don't think I'm anything special. I'm entitled to any help. But yeah, over a period of time, those kind of feelings built up to a point where as I said, it's kind of like it's like weird bitterness where where I just didn't want to do it. I thought, smeg it. I'm not doing it. You want to watch EverQuest content, make it yourself, kind of thing. That was kind of like my attitude towards it. And so recently, like I do think about EverQuest and P99 a lot, and just sitting here, really tickles not just the nostalgia gland, but also these models look amazing gland, and there's an enchanter there, and that enchanter gameplay is amazing kind of gland. It tickles all those glands, so I kind of want to play again. But I'm not sure if it's a good idea at the moment, because I'm kind of quite into New World, and I want to. What I kind of said to myself was that I wanted to get to a point in New World where I was kind of happy, because New World's the first MMO that I've played to the end game and got there really quickly, and I'm working on end game stuff. So I said to myself I've got no drive. That was one drive that I had, because I knew that I loved New World so much, for all its flaws. That I wanted to get to the end game. And the end game really is just running around upgrading your content, opening boxes and stuff. That's my end game anyway. So for some people it's a PvP and the wars and stuff. For me it's something else. Yeah, so what I've said to myself is I kind of wanted to get like a good foothold in like my end game in New World before I started committing time to other games and stuff, because it's something I've done in the past and then never gotten anywhere. But with winter approaching and just logging in now, I'm definitely feeling that EverQuest itch again. But I'm not sure if I would record anything really. That's the thing. I kind of think to myself, well, it might be quite nice to. And again, I think it might be quite nice. I mean, no, my ideal would be to still have an ongoing P99 series where I'm chucking out new content. Because when I first started doing it, that's what I enjoyed for 3 or 4 years, putting out P99 content, that was all new to me and was probably not new, but it was new. It was nostalgia new, retro new to me, and was probably to you as well. A lot of people said, the videos kind of scratched that retro itch. I know a lot of people started playing it because of my videos and other people's videos and stuff. So that would be my ideal. Would be I would still be doing that. But as I said, it kind of reached a point where YouTube was kind of interfering with my enjoyment of the game, and also this kind of resentment that built up over a period of time, where people, expectations from people, but it wasn't. It wasn't a mutual thing. Like the entitlement wasn't mutual. And then you can't see people on Twitch getting all this help with stuff. And I thought to myself, maybe I should just move over to Twitch. Just drop YouTube and move to Twitch. But then, that's not the right thing to do, I don't think. So that's it. I just thought I'd do a little channel burp, prompted by some nice comments I've got recently, and not a particularly great message. Not like, oh, you were, just something that kind of got on my nerves a bit, and just like lots of those kind of messages from previously, but also because, as I said, I'm still, although you guys might not think it, I'm always, whenever I go on YouTube, I'm always very aware that there are people that are members and you're paying them, be giving me a few quid every month to buy a coffee or something, which is what I use the money for. Myself and my wife go out and I get like a nice toasted cheesy sandwich, particularly on like it's getting quite cold here in the UK at the moment, so and a nice I've had to go on to decaf. Like, I'm not sure if I've mentioned it before while we're doing channel burps, but the annoying thing about P99 and how I've been feeling about it is that I'm kind of in the best position I've been in for quite a while to make stuff from a health point of view, because we recently found out that for the last few years, well, who knows how long, like caffeine has been having a real negative impact. Like I'm still like, physically, like rubbish, but we found out recently that caffeine was having a really, was exacerbating all of my symptoms a lot more, and I recently stopped that, and things have kind of got a little bit, things kind of got a bit better. So that's the thing with that. But as I said before, that's the irony of that. I'm kind of in my best shape to do stuff, but I'm just not doing it. But the main thing with this video at the end here is just to say that I'm always aware that there are people paying that money every month, that few quid every month. And I don't feel that you can't just stop paying it because I'm not doing the content that you want to watch, and I'm not lumping you in with those people who send me silly comments, but it's just, I think that's just the reality of life. That's fair enough. If you wanted to do that, I don't feel that you can't. But anyway, just done another little channel burp because I've had another raft of comments, nice comments recently about EverQuest, and I thought I would just tell you, like, I guess I've never done a video like this before, like telling you, kind of opening up a bit more maybe, and also kind of like, over the course of a number of years, the P99 stuff has got less and less and less and less until there isn't any really. And I thought it would be, just worth a video talking about why that is. But now I'm back in the game. I'm kind of quite itching to maybe kick off something new or whatever, or I don't know. Like, so it's funny how this video's going on. It's all right. It's 24 minutes. It's quite short waffling for me. Like playing New World and like just jumping into random groups and doing stuff has kind of made me look at other games differently as well. I'm in a company in New World as well. It's not very active, and I think potentially, I'm not sure if it's got any long-term legs, but I'm kind of thinking, I enjoy being in a company, even if I'm not the sort of person that interacts a huge amount. It's quite nice. Like I've been in loads of pub groups and all that kind of thing, and it makes me look at other games differently, with regards to grouping and being in a guild and that kind of thing. I don't know what the guild situation is on Blue at the moment, like who are the good guilds and stuff, and whatnot. But it kind of makes me think that might be quite a nice thing to do. It's funny how that kind of New World's kind of brought me out of my shell a little bit for some reason. I mean, New World, the combat in New World is a bit less technical than it is in EverQuest. And I think in EverQuest, previously, apart from the social stuff, I think one of the things you're always worried about doing something wrong, even though I'm sure people in groups do stuff wrong every single day on P99. Yeah, but it also makes me think differently about crafting as well. Like I keep renewing my plot on Worm Online, and I'm not quite sure why I keep doing it. I guess it's because I kind of feel that it might be quite nice to do something on that at some point. Because and like more so because the New World has also got me into got the crafting bug a bit more than I would normally have. But anyway, I've talked myself out of energy, I think mostly. Not sure if this video made any sense, but it was something to talk about. I quite enjoyed it actually, because I remember I used to do EverQuest videos before, and you do videos and like you just talk about stuff. It's why I loved Level 1's videos, because he would play EverQuest but talk about something completely unrelated, and it's just interesting listening to someone just talking about stuff, even if it's something that you've got different opinions on. Yeah, so it's been quite fun. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you again soon.